音乐放着，然后那个磬悄一点声音，大家就站起来了。那个刚才是我的袖子卡着那个棒，所以就是还没到，大家请坐下。抱歉。真的。真佛中，美国西雅图彩虹雷藏寺阿弥陀佛护摩法会开始与会大众请起立，恭迎真佛中创办人无上法王圣尊莲生活佛与会大众唱诵莲花童子心咒。恭请师尊以布道展视频，接受众线上的众弟子问安。
健康快乐。
家庭相依，男师尊，世尊爱你，我们爱你哦，爱你。还有什么关系？对身体吧，身体健康，圣诞节快乐！
能回来，
圣诞节快乐！
新年快乐！
圣诞节快
圣诞快乐！Homa，好了，Merry Birthday！
恭请法王圣尊莲生活佛升法王座。
Welcome our Holiness Living Buddha Lian-Sheng to ascend to the Homa throne, and we are inviting everybody to please take the seats. Now we are inviting His Holiness to bless the prayers of the primary supplicant.
请释莲万上师代表与会大众向法王圣尊莲生活佛请法，敬献哈达，以表最崇高敬意。
Amitabha Homa fire offering ceremony has now begun. Visualize true Buddha lineage. Namo Vairocana Buddha, Namo Buddha Lokana, Namo Amitabha Buddha, Namo Padmakumara, Namo Living Buddha Lian-Sheng. Visualize Grandmaster and all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas radiating light to bless us. Recite Padmakumara mantra 7 times.
Om Guru Lian-Sheng Siddhi Hom. 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 做事无量观，观想右手边有父系。
Visualize the 4 immeasurables, ancestors and relatives from the father side on your right, from the mother side to your left. Friends and teachers behind us. Enemies and karmic creditors in front of us. All sentient beings around us, together practicing tantric dharma and ultimately attaining Buddhahood. Wake up call. Recite purification mantras and deity mantra.
Om Siudori Siudori Siumori Siumori Sokham. Om Vajra Dan He Hom. Namo Samanto Modolan Om Duru Duru Deve Sokha.
Recite invocation mantra.
Om Sokha. Om A Hom Sokha. Om A Hom Sokha. 众弟子一心奉起。
We sincerely invoke our lineage root Guru, His Holiness Living Buddha Lian-Sheng. Namo White Padmakumara. Namo Lotus Light Self-Mastery Buddha. Namo True Buddha Skull Lineage Gurus. We sincerely invoke the main deity of Homa. Namo Amitha Buddha. We sincerely invoke the main deity of Homa. Namo Amitha. We sincerely invoke the main deity of Homa. Namo Amitha. Namo Golden Mother of the Primordial Jet Ponds. Namo 5 Dhyani Buddhas. True Buddha School 8 primary deities. Namo Yamantaka, Akalanata, the 4 heavenly kings, Suma Bodhisattva. Rainbow temples, all Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Herukas, Dhammapalas, Dakinis, and divinities. All the deities enshrined at the True Buddha Tantric Quarter, Seattle Litsang Temple, and at the South Mountain Retreat. Rainbow temples, Mountain God, Earth God, Plant God, Wind God, Water God, Heavenly Fire Gods, Dragon Gods, and all divinities, as well as the city gods, to please radiate light and bless this Homa. Create homage using visualization for Student Guru and all Buddhas. Visualize for procession on the ground, release the mudra. Second to all Bodhisattvas. Visualize for procession on the ground, release the mudra. Third to all Herukas and Dhamma protectors. Visualize for procession on the ground, release the mudra. Fourth half vow. Great mandala offering. From the offering mudra, visualize the transformations of the offerings to become innumerable to fill the whole cosmic space. Make the offering above to the lineage root Guru, all the lineage Gurus, the main deity of Homa, Amitha Buddha, all Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Herukas, Dhammapalas, Dakinis, and divinities, and below to all sentient beings. Recite the offering verse and mantra.
化诸珍宝供养国，种种珍奇诸功德，消业速速证菩提。Om Sarva Tata Tata Itamu Gurunana Mensana Kan Niniye Tayami. 做四皈依观想，观想根本传承上师。
For full refuge, visualize our lineage root guru, all the lineage gurus, Buddha jewel, Dharma jewel, and Sangha jewel to form bright white light to empower us. Recite the mantra.
Namo Guru Be, Namo Buddhaye, Namo Dhammaye, Namo Sankhyaye. Namo Guru Be, Namo Buddhaye, Namo Dhammaye, Namo Sankhyaye. Namo Guru Be, Namo Buddhaye, Namo Dhammaye, Namo Sankhyaye.
Armor protection. For Vajrapani Mudra, recite Vajrapani mantra 7 times.
Om Boyolanzari, Om Boyolanzari, Om Boyolanzari, Om Boyolanzari, Om Boyolanzari. 恭请法王圣尊莲生活佛做。
Inviting His Holiness Living Buddha Lian-Sheng to perform blessings with mala. Inviting His Holiness Living Buddha Lian-Sheng to set ceremonial demarcation, bless the registration forms, Homa cards, and all the offerings. Stand up and join your palms with reverence, and together we are inviting His Holiness to perform the ritual of opening Homa fire pit, to lit the Homa fire, to set the ceremonial demarcation around it, and to make all the offerings, and to perform mudra transformations for purifications, enrichments, magnetization, subjugation, and birth to deliverance. time, you may perform the Homa visualization, which is the emergence of the main deity Amitha Buddha, the merging of the deity with the Homa fire and with yourself. Visualize the Homa fire burn away all your negativities and continually chant the heart mantra.
Om Amitha Buddha, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Padnamo Ling Ling Soha, Om Ha 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 Wei Samaye Soha, Om Zedi Judi Junti Soha, Om Zambala Chaleng Chalaye Soha, Om A Hom Beja Guru Bema Siddhi Hom Se, Om A Hom Guru Be Aha Sasamaha Lian-Sheng Siddhi Hom. Địa tha Om Bekha Maha Bekha La Cha Samo Kya Te Soha. Nam mô 36万亿1119500同名同号阿弥陀佛。南无36万亿1119500同名同号阿弥陀佛。南无36万亿1119500同名同号阿弥陀佛。请大家起念，请佛注释祈愿文。具德妙善圣尊你，一切佛刹
all Buddhas of the 10 directions, compassionate Bodhisattvas, Herukas, Dhammapalas, and Dakinis, protectors of Dharma. The nights are long, the three poisons are proliferating. My body and soul are stricken, tumbling in the misery of a perpetual rebirth. With great compassion, His Holiness came to this world to salvage the deluded ones. Three jewels, eminent wondrous light, to provide refuge for all. All fortunate beings, humans and devas, rely on His Vajra body for the bestowal of teachings, vows, precepts, empowerments, and attainments. We disciples of Buddha plead that you stay in the Sahara to join the Dharma wheel, to benefit and give happiness to multitudes of sentient beings. Merit dedication. May Allah uphold the Buddha, ascend to the love of utmost bliss, repaying fourfold generosities from above, aiding those in the three realms below. Upon seeing the Buddha, may we transcend life and death like the Buddha, may we liberate all. To Buddha's school disciples, wholeheartedly pray to the main deity of Homa, Amitha Buddha, the chief of the lotus ponds at Sukawati, the Amrita King Tathagata, to please shower infinite light to fulfill the wishes of all sentient beings. Please protect our lineage Guru with great health and longevity, all hindrances, calamities eradicated, abundant riches and harmony, bliss and radiance, self-mastery and spontaneity. May he continuously in samsara so that the authentic Buddha Dharma can thrive, and may the lotus radiance light upon the world. Inviting His Holiness to perform the overall merit dedication. Wholeheartedly we pay homage to Amitabha Tathagata of Sukawati. Homage to Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva. Homage to Mahastama Prapta Bodhisattva. Wholeheartedly we pay homage to Amitabha Tathagata of Sukawati. Sukawati is Amitabha Tathagata, Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, and Mahastama Prapta Bodhisattva. Wholeheartedly we pay homage to Sukawati's Amitabha Tathagata, Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, Mahastama Prapta Bodhisattva. We pray to Amitabha Tathagata to guide Bartu spirits with affinity, Bartu spirits without affinities, to be reborn into the western realm of utmost bliss Sukawati. We pray to Amitabha Tathagata to widely salvage sentient beings. We pray to Amitabha Tathagata to place radiant light and bless us. So that the 37 beneficial qualities to promote the Buddha Dharma. May the Dharmakaya in the pure land of eternal light and peace, and the Sambhogakaya in the magnificent land for proper rewards, and the Nirmanakaya in the convenience land for those with remnants, and the mixed land where both the mundane and the sages reside. Please radiate light upon the 3,000 great thousand worlds with infinite light, infinite lives, and great auspiciousness, and all wishes fulfilled completely. May all sentient beings can chant Namo, the epithet of Namo Amitha Buddha. May all sentient beings can chant the epithet of Namo Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva. We wish that all sentient beings can chant the epithet or the name of Mahabala Mahastama Bodhisattva. 大势至菩萨。Sukhawatis Amitha Buddha Tathagata Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva Mahastama Prapta Bodhisattva. Gods in heavens, gods on earth, may be far from all calamities, may all calamities abandon us, let all disasters turn into dust. May all of our prayers be granted. We pray that you bless us with the dispersion of all our afflictions. Make viruses disappear. May illnesses disappear. May all disasters and bad affinities disappear. We say 100 syllable mantra 3 times.
Sawa kama sutame jitamu sriyan guru hom ha 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 bhagavan sawa tathagata bezamami mancha bezabawa mahasamaya sato ahom pei om bezasato samaya manupanaya bezasato denu vadicha zezo me bawa suto kayu me bawa sopo kayu me bawa anulato me bawa sarva siddhi me budayata sawa kama sutame jitamu sriyan guru hom ha 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 bhagavan sawa tathagata bezamami mancha bezabawa mahasamaya sato ahom pei om bezasato samaya manupanaya bezasato denu vadicha zezo me bawa suto kayu me bawa sopo kayu me bawa anulato me bawa sarva siddhi me budayata sawa kama sutame jitamu sriyan guru hom ha 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 bhagavan sawa tathagata bezamami mancha bezabawa mahasamaya sato ahom pei.
Create Homa choosing visualization first to root Guru and all Buddhas. Visualize for prostration on the ground, daily samudra, second to all Bodhisattvas. Visualize for position on the ground, the listen mudra. Third to all herokas and Dharma protectors. Visualize for position on the ground, the listen mudra. Fourth half bow. Completion mantra.
让我们以热烈的掌声感谢根本上师
Let's
法
give
王
a
圣
great
尊
round
莲
of
生活
applause
佛主坛阿弥
to
陀
our
佛
lineage
护
guru
摩
for
法会。
presiding over this Amitha Homa fire offering
恭
ceremony.
请法王圣尊莲生活佛做宝贵的法
Now
语
let us all
开
join our
示。
palms, and together we are inviting His Holiness to bestow the precious Dharma teachings. Let's pay homage to the lineage gurus, homage to the Venerable Monk Liao Ming, homage to Master Sakya Zeng Kung, homage to His Holiness the 16th Karmapa, and homage to Master Dubdan Dorji. Homage to the three jewels of the altar. And homage to the main deity of Homa today, the Sukhavati's Amitha Buddha.
Hola amigo, que quiero mucho. Sugoi, Ichiba, Kimochi, Jumi, Yapi, Purin Purin, Konnichiwa.
I would like to announce for next Sunday, December 26th, at 3 p.m. There will be Amoghapasa, Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva Homa fire offering ceremony. You all know about this deity. Among the Avalokitesvara Bodhisattvas, this one deity is very popular because Amoghapasa Avalokitesvara would fulfill all that you ask for. Every time this Homa, every time they are always the most primary supplicants for this Homa, because everyone knows that Amoghapasa Avalokitesvara will always fulfill your requests. So there's a saying that all your wishes will be fulfilled. And what you ask for will not return empty. So of all the Homa ceremonies, this deity always has the most primary supplicants and merit holders. No need to say too much. People naturally would have something to request and would do it. This is Amoghapasa, Avalokitesvara. So next Sunday is already December 26th, and the Christmas would have passed. So here I would like to say Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. So today we had Amitabha Homa. This deity is extremely important. He is Grandmaster's Yidam, Amitha Tathagata. We can also say it's a Grandmaster's origin. The origin. I have studied the Pure Land Buddhism. So there are 3 sutras and 1 treatise in this Pure Land sect. The treatise is the Rebirth treatise, and the sutras are Amitabha Sutra, Maha Amitabha Sutra, and the minor Amitabha Sutra, and the observation of the Infinite Life Sutra. 3 sutras and 1 treatise or Abhidhamma. So Pure Land sect is a sect that's established on these 3 sutras and 1 treatise, and they specialize in chanting the Buddha's name, the mantra that's chanting the Buddha's name or epithet. That's chanting the name, the Amitabha Buddha's name. Some chant the 6 syllables or 4 syllables. The 4 or 6 syllables. The long version Or you just join your palms and with one inhalation you chant 10 names, 10 recitations. That's the rule. You need to do 10 times chanting Amitabha's name every morning. And then also at any other time. So not just in the morning and at night, but at all times. And then you chant it until eventually, at the moment of death, you call on the name of Amitabha Buddha. Amitabha Buddha, Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, and Mahabala Bodhisattva. The Pure Land Trinity will appear in front of you and to guide you to be reborn into the pure Buddha land. The Pure Land sect is the simple cultivation method of all Buddhist denominations. It's very easy, but also not so easy. As it's written in the sutra, at the moment of death, you have to be in total concentration, focused. You visualize Amitabha Buddha and you chant Amitabha Buddha's name or Avalokitesvara and Mahabala's name, and the Pure Land Trinity appear and would guide you to be reborn. And the key here is in the focus and concentration, single-mindedness. And single-mindedness, actually, it's meditative stability. And for most ordinary people, this meditative stability is very difficult. So the crucial point is that meditative stability at the moment of death. Whether it is simple spiritual cultivation or a difficult spiritual cultivation, such as Tantric Buddhism, is very difficult. But in Tantric Buddhism, according to the real practice, you can also be reborn in the Pure Land all the same. So in our Buddhist studies, we need to comprehend both the simple and the difficult methods of spiritual cultivation. You need to understand the pith instructions and the key formulas and tips and tricks. And many of them are in the single-mindedness. That's the most important pith teaching, or the most important key formula. The reporter asked the wife, everybody said that after a long marriage, there's no more passion in your love. And the wife said, oh, I don't agree. Sometimes you are still very passionate. And the reporter asked, but when? And she replied, when we argue, we're very passionate. So when you're arguing, then you're very agitated, very passionate. So you still have passion. A female colleague has been divorced twice. So I asked her, hey, you look quite beautiful. How come you're always getting divorced? And she sighed and said, oh, it's because of domestic violence. So I was empathetic and said, oh, what a bad luck. How come you always encounter such jerks? And she's embarrassed and said, I'm the one that's violent. These are jokes. Now we'll get to the main topic in question and answer. Question from Brazil. Lian-Hua Qi-jun. Most precious root guru. The disciples in Brazil have the following questions. Please advise. 1. Is there a rule what time, what hour of the day we should not chant sutras or mantras? So some people chant sutras or mantras, and they are not supposed to do it at certain hours of the day. Generally speaking, their habits is that when you go to the toilet, everybody thinks it's unclean there. So you should not chant when you're in the toilet because it's dirty there. And you're sitting on top of the toilet bowl or lotus. Or when you exert yourself, how can you chant at that time? Sutras or mantras. And some people think that you cannot chant when you're lying in bed. Oh. So when you lie in bed, you should sleep and should not chant. But let me tell these Brazilian disciples, you can chant at any time. It's fine if you chant sutras or mantras. Inside the toilet, how can you chant sutras and mantras? Or should we also play the instrument? How can it be? Did Grandmaster say it right? Yes. Because there's no such place that's unclean, and there's no such place that's clean. So those are stuff inside your belly. So you think that you're clean, but actually inside your belly, those things are not clean. In my opinion, before I go to sleep, I would practice the light protection, sleep light protection. And I would visualize, chant the sutra, chant the Buddha's name, so that you can practice the light protection while laying on bed. It's fine if you do it on the bed or in the toilet. Or those poo and pee, we don't call them shit. The big and the small. waste can be offered to the 3 lower realms. I remember I read a book in the past called someone went to a country where everybody has straight intestines, so whatever they eat would be excreted very fast. So people at the first-rate people, after they excreted, would be eaten by the second-rate people, and then when they excreted, it would be eaten by the third-rate people. That's the country of straight intestine people. So we don't think of poo as dirty stuff. We call it the major fragrance, and the pee is the minor or fragrance. Those are useful, can be offered to the 3 lower realms. In Tantric Buddhism, it is allowed. So now, Japan, they also invented to drink pee and eat poo. I've said that, drinking the urine. It's quite popular in Japan. Many Japanese people have no problem drinking pee. Actually, eating poo is also no problem. If you eliminate the smell, and then they use some kind of like flat roll, and then you roll it, then it would become something like spring roll. For Taiwanese, then you add a little bit of veggies and sauce, then it would become lumpia or some kind of rolls, Taiwanese rolls. Why do you laugh about eating poo? Remember, people with bad digestive systems like Reverend Lian-Sheng, you find someone with great digestive systems would always excrete like a gold sausage. They cannot have any waste in it or any bad things in it. They never have any digestive problems. And they have lots of good probiotics in their digestive tracts. So what he excretes would be beautiful, golden, long sauce. Very beautiful, not too hard and not too soft. It's slightly harder than the banana sauce. And then you buy it from him. He has a very healthy digestive system, and you can tell it looks fresh and nutritious and has very healthy probiotics. You have to know, and then you wrap it with a thin like phyllo dough, and then you take it several times. And then with the healthy probiotics, your digestive tracts would become healthy. Then in the future, you would be like him, always excreting the golden bananas. So the doctors thought, well, because when you have good probiotics, that's why what you excrete would be that golden thing. And we know that the probiotics are still in that golden thing. So if you eat that person's poo a lot, because he's very healthy, he never had any digestive problems, and after you eat his, then your digestive system should be like his. So this is one cure I'm telling you today. Then you would become very stoic, like Lian-Wen from Rainbow Temple.
我是告诉你这个，所以经咒是否有规定某些时间不能念 ？No， 不是。
So, is there any time that you cannot chant sutras and mantras? No. You can chant it at any time. It's best if you chant the purification mantras first to purify that space, and then, in my opinion, then you can chant any sutras and mantras. And the second question, the number of offerings should be odd or even? This kind of questions. In the past, someone asked me, he was paying like praying to the ancestors or at the tombs, and he asked me, he wanted to offer dumplings, and he asked me, should the dumplings be white or red? And I told him, either one is fine. So, and then he came back and asked again, how big should the dumpling be? The sweet dumplings, some of them are big. During the Lantern festivals, it's big and with sesame seeds inside, or the small ones. And I still say the same. Any one of them is fine. And he came back and asked again, how many of them should be in a bowl? And I said, it's up to you, with whatever. And this person is asking, so should be even number or odd number? I said, just fine. Either one is fine. Should we care whether they're odd number or even number? That's fine. Both of them are fine. There's no taboo. Some people, it's taboo for some people, but not for others. But for Grandmaster, there's no taboo whatsoever, whether it's odd or even number. And how about the hours of the practice? As I said, nothing, no, nothing specific. But in Tantric Buddhism, the rule is to practice protectors at night and practice yidam in the morning. So daytime and nighttime, or the 15th day before or after the 15th day. there is a rule in Tantric Buddhism. So the hours or the time to practice, there is some rule. If you perform Badu deliverance, should be at night. And is it okay to do it in the daytime? It's actually okay too. And for Grandmaster, there is no taboo whatsoever. But if you want to follow the rules in Tantric Buddhism, sometimes there is some special cases. Because His Holiness the 16th Karmapa told me that in the daytime he practices his yidam, Tara, and at night he practices his protector. So in the daytime you can practice for blessings, at night you practice Bardo deliverance. That's the only difference. After taking refuge in Buddhism, then does it mean we should not should not follow other religions? Of course, we think Buddhism is the best. The Dharma teaching lasted 49 years, and Jesus Christ only preached for 3 years, very short. And Sakyamuni Buddha, 40 years. And Muhammad, he had he started at 40 and died at 63, so he only preached for 23 years. So the Buddha preached the longest. So actually you respect them all equally. We respect Confucius because he teaches us many ethics and morals, and how to be a good person, like the Analects of Confucius. What's written there is about how to be a human being. So we highly respect him. And we also respect Jesus Christ. And he is even my guru. So in the New Testaments, the Gospels of Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, and the Acts of the Apostles, and in Catholicism, also Genesis and the former 6 books. The 6 books in the Old Testaments, including the Psalms of the King David, these are also highly revered by the Islamic tradition. So Muslim or Islam highly revere the first 6 books of the Old Testament. So we highly respect both the Old and New Testament equally. And also their cultivation methods in Quran. Some of them also worth our studying. So after taking refuge in Buddhism, you should also understand their spiritual cultivation methods to increase your knowledge. That would be good too. That's answering the questions asked by Lianhua Qijun from Brazil. We have disciples in Africa too. And this one is from South Africa, Lianhua Yongyuan. from South Africa. Grandmaster Sumo True Buddha School, how do you do? Grandmaster stated that Ishi-Chugal is now in the human world and also in True Buddha School. And Ishi-Chugal is the first and foremost Buddha mother in Tibetan Tantric Buddhism and is a Mahasiddha. Why don't we ask her to come forward and turn the Dharma wheel? So Lianhua Yongyuan from South Africa said this, that Ishi-Chugal is in the human world and it's in True Buddha School. Did I ever say this? I have said it during Homa that Ishi-Chugal is right here. You said what I said? What else did I say? I know she's Ishi-Chugal, and she also knows that she's Ishi-Chugal. Ishi-Chugal is the first and foremost Buddha mother in Tibetan Tantric Buddhism. Why don't we ask her to turn the Dharma wheel? The reincarnated Ishi-Chugal is still in study right now. Even a bodhisattva, you would be deluded upon rebirth. So as soon as you're being reborn, you would be deluded even when you were a bodhisattva before. So Ishi-Chugal, when she's reincarnated, she would not know that she was Ishi-Chugal. Like Grandmaster is Padmakumara, or was Padmakumara. And in the Sutra of Observing the Infinite Lifespan, it was written that Amitha Buddha said reincarnated as youth, and that is the 36,119,500 Buddhas by the same name of identification of Amitabha. So Padmakumara is Amitabha, and Amitabha is Padmakumara. Padmakumara was emanated from Amitha Buddha. But when I was born, I did not know that I was Padmakumara until when I was 26 at the Jade Emperor Temple. Golden Mother descended and told me, you were Padmakumara. And she took me to see my past lives. And only then I knew that I was Padmakumara. And after I knew, I still had to study, to train, to learn the Buddha Dharma, to learn the mudras, the hand gesture, foot gesture. And in my dormitory, the military dormitory, I had to stay up all night to learn the mudra, and the fingers would move by themselves. And also the feet, the gesture, how to move around, and I felt tired. And the position of the legs was frozen. You could not move because you felt sore. You wanted to put down your leg, but you could not. Oh, it's so cold at night. I don't want to study. I want to sleep. And they took lifted my feet so that I was standing on my head, and then just released me, so I felt. So I had to study for 3 years. You have to start from the beginning again. So it's not that you're an emanated youth, I was a Padmakumara, and you understand everything as soon as you were born. That's not the case. I studied and trained, took refuge in Mahayana Buddhist gurus and studied Mahayana Buddhism, and in Tantric Buddhist gurus studied Tantric Buddhism, and then studied from the sutras, and then I gained spiritual responses, and then once I have spiritual union with the Yidam, I comprehend or I understand it better. And I can be in spiritual union with any deities. Any deity can come into my body and I can enter into their bodies. I can transform into many deities. Although Ishichogal is in the human world and is in Tribuddha school, but Ishichogal is still in her study. Only when after she has attainment, she would come out. I would ask her to come out and turn the Dharma wheel. This was asked by Lianhua Yongyuan from South Africa. So since Ishichogal is here, why don't we ask her to turn the Dharma wheel? And there are many Golden Mother's daughters that come to Tribuddha school. And there are also many Dakinis inside Tribuddha school. The Pure Land of the Dakinis, come to Tribuddha school, and they're still in training. They're still cultivating, and afterwards they can come out and turn the Dhamma wheel. If they don't encounter Buddha Dharma, they would be reincarnated in the human world and then being called upon at some point, like Grandmaster at 26. I was called upon. And what is the lotus youth? That's Padmakumara, or auspicious youth. And so Amitabha is my Yidam, Golden Mother is also my Yidam, because in one of my past lives I was together with Golden Mother. And Ksitigarbha Bodhisattva is also my Yidam, because Ksitigarbha Bodhisattva is also Lotus Youth, and Padmasambhava is also Lotus Youth. The founder of Tantrayana is also a Lotus Youth or Padmakumara, Lotus born. So in the future, once they have mastered their Dharma, then they would come publicly, because spiritual union is most important. In tantric practices, the first step in your Yidam practice, you have to gain spiritual union. Once you gain spiritual union with one deity, you can gain spiritual union with all deities. So once you gain spiritual union, the Dharma that you understand is getting more and more, and all the Dharma would be inside your mind or heart. Then that's the attainment. So we wouldn't worry that we would not be reborn in the Pure Land. Why? Because as soon as you close your eyes, the Yidam will appear right in front of you and would bring you there, would guide you there. And not only that, the Yidam would appear anytime you invoke a deity, that deity would come inside your body and you would become that deity. I would become Amitha Buddha. It's just in a fleeting second. split of a second. With the snap of the finger, you can become Amitha Buddha. With the snap of the finger, you become Amitha Buddha. So you transform into the Yidam. As soon as you gain spiritual union, this would happen. So there are a group of them that would come to you. With the snap of the fingers, you become the Yidam. And then by the Yidam, you perform the Vajra deliverance. That's why I have the 1,000 vessels of Vajra deliverance. So when you have Yidam, it will be easy to get into the inner tantric practices or the highest yoga tantra. When you do the highest yoga tantra, whatever you do is done by the Yidam, not by you. This is very important, let me tell you. Now, Xiaoming told a beautiful lady, "Hey, beautiful, can I hug you?" Huh? And the beautiful said, this is playable of Chinese. If you swallow the money, then sure. So it sounds like, yeah, it's like, you know, if the money is right, but it sounds like if the money gets to the stomach. So that's a big difference. The patient asked the doctor, "How come I never have any kids?" And the doctor said, "Well, I think it's the male's side." This is also playable of Chinese. The male problem sounds like in the south, but now we're in the north. That's misunderstanding. People use animals to symbolize someone's and I use this to describe my wife. Arms like a unicorn, legs like an elephant, waist like a bear, back like a tiger, with the painted eyebrows, lips and nails. So I read it to my wife. So I got leopard skin and panda eyes. So the panda eyes with black bruises everywhere with the leopard skin.
好了，现在这个我们讲《金刚经》啊，离相即灭分第。
Now we will talk about the Vajra Sutra, chapter 14. Extinction upon abandoning phenomena. The Buddha told Subhuti Just so Subhuti. If there is a person who is not shocked, frightened, or fearful upon hearing the sutra, it is extremely rare indeed. Those who read Vajra Sutra, those who have heard Grandmaster's exposition, and yet you're not shocked, not frightened, nor fearful. Not shocked, frightened, nor fearful. This phrase is extremely important. Most people, when they hear the Vajra Sutra or my Dharma teaching, would be greatly shocked. Why? Why would they be greatly shocked? Most people would be shocked. Because the Vajra Sutra was talking about the non-phenomena of self, others, sentient beings, and lifespan. There's no other religions would talk this way. Only Sakyamuni Buddha. Sakyamuni Buddha was born in India. And in Hinduism, they also talk about the Trinity, the three great gods. In the Akanista, the highest heaven in the realm of form, Subhakrishna, there's Vishnu. And in the Brahmana heaven, in the realm of form, that's Brahma, and the highest realm in the realm of desire, that's Shiva. They are the three major gods and highest gods in Hinduism. Vishnu, or Vishnuloka, Mahabrahma or Brahmadeva, or the Mahaswara, which is the highest heaven in the heavenly realm of desire. They are the three major gods in Hinduism. They have certain form or appearance, and they have their own pets, characteristic pets. Vishnu's pet is Garuda, the golden wing bird. And for Brahma, his pet is the white swan. And the pet of Shiva is the white ox. They all have certain appearance. Only Sakyamuni Buddha said, they are none. No self, no you, no him or she, her. What? And you were startled. None? Then is there heaven? No. Even heaven doesn't exist. Is there hell? No, even hells don't exist. So strange. Why did Sakyamuni Buddha say so? Didn't you say there are hells, hungry ghosts, animals? In the eyes of the Buddha, nothing exists. When you cultivate and reach the highest realm, the Vajra Sutra is the highest, the king of sutras. Nothing is higher than it. It's the rarest, the most rare. So the one expounding Vajra Sutra should understand this. Is there any place that's, how come they're not shocked? very shocked. And remember, in Zen Buddhism, there is this piece. A disciple asked the master, "Is there hell?" And the master said, "Yes." And the second disciple came and asked him, "Is there hell?" And the master said, "No." And his attendant was very curious. Well, how come you told the first person hell exists and the second person hell doesn't exist? So he asked the master, "So Guru, master, you told the first person that hell exists and you told the second person that hell doesn't exist. I'm confused. So does hell exist or not? I'm your attendant." And the master told him, "That's right, what you ask. Exists or not, they're both right. So what's going on?" Let me tell you. This question and answer is very simple. The first person has karma, so he will go to hell. That's why his master told him that hell exists for you. And the second one is very pure in his spiritual cultivation, and the master told him, "No hells." Now do you understand? Because he doesn't have to go to hells, so hells don't exist for him. So when you get to the king of sutras, the most rare, even all the heavenly realms do not exist. The arupa loka, the heavenly realm of formlessness, the realm of form, realm of desire, they don't exist. Because when you understand the sutra, you have gone beyond the three heavenly realms. So heavens and hells don't exist. There are no so-called heavens and hells. Only Sakyamuni Buddha said this. Aren't you startled and shocked? Yes. But after you hear it, wouldn't you be frightened? Isn't it frightening? Of course it's frightening. Why do you live for? Nothing exists. Even I don't exist. Sheng-yen doesn't exist. True Buddha's School doesn't exist. All the books I wrote don't exist. My everything don't exist. My children, grandchildren don't exist. Aren't you frightened when you hear that? Your money too is empty. It's nothing. Your house is nothing. Your land is not yours. The house is not yours. The cars are not yours. Wouldn't you be frightened when you hear that? You have nothing. Isn't it frightening? Of course it is. All mine is gone. Sometimes when you meditate, as soon as you meditate, you enter into the black hole. Some people meditate and they float and fly very high. And they get really frightened, like, what if I fall down? You would feel frightened. You would be so scared. You have nothing to rely on. Nothing to rely above, below, or to the left or right. And you're in the space by yourself. Wouldn't you be scared? Wouldn't you scared? It's really frightening. So that's the frightened. This is the most frightening sutra. Not fearful. You don't reject it. You don't reject what Sakyamuni Buddha said. Grandmaster has explained, nothing exists. That's real phenomena. Real phenomena is non-phenomena. Non-phenomena is real phenomena. I have explained it for you. Only when you have karma, you have phenomena. Without karma, you have no phenomena whatsoever, and you don't have to be reincarnated. You don't need to go into nirvana. You are an everlasting Buddha, an everlasting life, everlasting, eternal Buddha. The same thing when you reach Bodhisattvahood. Buddha, Bodhisattva, Pratika Buddha, Sravaka. The 4 sixthly realms are all like this. So, a lot of things are only for the moment, only for a moment. Those at the highest positions, for a moment. Those, the richest ones, also for the moment. The most beautiful for a moment. They're all just for a moment. Just for the moment. Actually, there's nothing. It's in the sutra. That's why I explained. When you can truly comprehend the most important meaning of the sutra, if you can be not shocked, frightened, nor fearful, you are extremely rare. Most people are afraid to lose. Like the Qin Huang, the first emperor of China, kept looking for the immortality elixir everywhere. He wanted to become an emperor forever. The same thing with Han Wuti, also seek for the immortality elixir, went everywhere to the peak of the Mount Taisan and asked a Golden Mother, wish for an immortality pill from the Golden Mother so that he could become the Emperor Han Wuti forever and never die, become immortal. Qin Shi Huang and Han Wuti. They are very illustrious, but it's also for a moment. Being an emperor in the past were at the highest position, and now if you're in charge of the military, that's also for just for the moment. Even when you have money, that's only for a moment. Houses, lands, just for a moment. Your body too. How can you maintain your body forever? No such thing in this world. I often say this. I was given life when I was born, but I don't want to bring life when I die. Is there anyone that still has life when they die? No. They all die. So that's why it's only for a moment. The bodies too. Once you have seen through this, like Sakyamuni Buddha said, like about romantic love, there's a song that said, loving you for 10,000 years. That's crazy. That's a liar. That's to trick people. It's done by fraud, scam. 10,000 years? 7 years. You have the 7-year itch. How could that be 10,000 years? It's extremely rare indeed. Why? If you keep this in mind, if you're mindful of this, it would help you alleviate your desire. It's okay. Doesn't matter. No big deal. It's okay. Doesn't matter. No big deal. Just let it be. Let it flow. Just whatever. Go with the flow. Just go with the flow. Why? Subhuti, the Tathagata said that the first and foremost paramita is not the first and foremost paramita. It is merely named the first and foremost paramita. So, Subhuti, the Tathagata said that the first and foremost paramita is not the first and foremost paramita. It is merely named the first and foremost paramita. Very simple. The first that let you arrive at the other store is not the first that let you arrive at the other store, because it is not the first to let you arrive at the other store. That's why it is the first that let you arrive at the other store. You can understand this, right? Because when you arrive at the other shore, it's the same as not arriving at the other shore, because the other shore does not exist. Because this shore is the other shore. Once you understand this, so the first paramita is not the first and foremost paramita, and it is the first and foremost paramita. That's what it means. Now do you understand? Asking the laundromat boss, when can I pick it up? 3 days later. But didn't you say it's done within 24 hours? And he laughed and said, yeah, but we work 8 hours a day. And Xiaoming, as an undercover policeman, was a secret agent within the mafia. And then he make a phone call to his boss, like, "Hey, I'm now second in command. And then if the mafia gang leader or the boss died, then I would become the boss." So as a secret agent, undercover would become the mafia boss. The male dorm manager is a middle-aged woman, and one day he's trying to call Xiaoming to wake him up, but Xiaoming didn't want to wake up and said, "If you don't get up, I will write a news bulletin about you." And Xiaoming thought, "Oh, this is no big deal." And then in the afternoon he saw it and said that room 405 Xiaoming could not get hard in the morning. Could not get up in the morning, or could not get it up in the morning. And that would be quite startling. Now it's a pandemic. A man asks his boss, asks another boss, "So how's business during the pandemic?" "Oh, it's really bad. It's even yesterday I just sold one piece, and today is even worse." "So what happened?" You didn't sell anything? Oh, because he returned the one that he bought yesterday. The boss of the company said, I'm the boss I'm the head in the company. Oh yeah, we know that, but how about at home? I'm also the head at home. And how about your wife? My wife is the neck. So wherever the head will turn, it has to listen to the neck. That's all. Om Mani Padme Hum.
非常感谢法王圣尊莲生活佛精彩宝贵的法语开示。现在请大家把各自坐的椅子叠好，放在两旁。
Very grateful to His Holiness Precious Dharma teaching. This ends English interpretation today. Please remember to return your receivers. And in a moment there would be empowerments.
顶礼坛城做观想大礼拜，一拜根本传承上师及诸佛。嗡啊吽，观想顶礼，回天心善意。二拜诸菩萨。嗡啊吽，观想顶礼，回天心善意。三拜诸护法金刚。嗡啊吽，观想顶礼，回天心善意，是平等一起受。恭请师尊移步到展示屏，接受众线上的恭敬感恩之心。
Selamat pagi, Sudung. Pagi, Sudung.
圣诞节快乐！
什么？圣诞节快乐！
你好，
圣加持，谢谢师尊加持。
圣加持，谢谢。
好想你，爱你，
爱你，好想你，爱什么？好想你。
节快乐！
好想你，love you，
也爱你，
好想爱哟，当时
我们爱你，师尊你，我们爱你哦，请关注
大家要注意一下，现在天气转冷，很冷啊，地下可能结冰，所以你们在开车的时候要小心一点。现在那个气温在降低，路上会结冰，大家开车的时候要小心一点哈。好，谢谢师尊，谢谢大家，诸位圣圣同们，下周见。啊，这。恭请师尊赐授阿弥陀佛法灌顶。 受灌顶。 我们以热烈的掌声感谢师尊持守阿弥陀佛法灌顶，我们一起顶礼感恩师尊，谢谢师尊。